We're now going to explore the first part of the system preferences on your MacBook. The system preferences is the gear, which looks just like the settings on the iPad. So when you first open system preferences, one thing to note is that you do have several different options in your menu bar here, your toolbar, and they work based on where you are within system preferences. If you have already chosen something, you can go back. The grid will automatically take you back to this home view, and you can search. So let's say that you wanted to find something within system preferences, but you weren't exactly sure where it was. As you start to type it in, we'll actually begin to highlight where that is. So if I start to type in, notice I put T and several things pop up. As you begin to type in, it closes in more specifically on what you want. Different locations will be highlighted to allow you to choose one of those and then further your search. We're going to look at your general system preferences, and you can change your appearance. So you can change blue or graphite. You could choose a dark menu bar and dock, automatically hide, your highlight color, so you have different things with the general appearance. Also, your scroll bars. Now this is important because the Mac is default to only show your scroll bar when you're scrolling. For instance, if I open Safari and I've not changed these preferences, I will only see the scroll bar when I go near it and I begin to scroll. So if you want it to be more of a mirror of a PC in the way that the scroll bar is typically always there, you can change that to always. Same thing with clicking in the scroll bar. If you click in the scroll bar, you can either jump to the next page or to the spot that is clicked. You can also choose right here below your default web browser, and that is based on the web browsers you have installed. So I have installed Safari, Firefox, and Chrome, and I can make any of those my default if I would choose to. The next section, you have ask to keep changes when closing documents, close window when quitting an app. So this, when you close windows when quitting an app, notice it says when selected, open documents and windows will not be restored when you reopen an app. So that means if you quit an app and you have that unchecked, when you open it, those things will pop back up again. You could choose how many recent items, allow handoff between your Mac and your iCloud devices, and then use LCD font smoothing. The handoff is if you have an iPad and a Mac on the same iCloud account, you can actually hand off an app from one to the other. Let's say that I'm on my iPad and I was in a meeting and I pulled something up in my mail or in Safari. When I got back to my MacBook, if I didn't have that with me, I would see on my MacBook in the bottom left beside the dock the actual icon of the iPad, and I could open it from there. So those are your general options for your system preferences. The next briefly is desktop and screensaver. This is where you can choose what your desktop will be. You can also choose your screensaver. You can have it change your pictures every hour. You can do a random order. You can start this after a certain amount of time, show with the clock, shuffle. So you can do really whatever you would like with this. One thing I want to point out, hot corners under the screensaver option allows you to set each corner of the screen to do something. So notice I have mine where my upper right corner is application windows, my upper left corner is desktop, and my lower left corner is launchpad. I have not assigned the lower right corner. So if I take my mouse and go to the lower left corner, it will open my launchpad, and when I go back to that, it will close it. You do not have to have any of those set, and they are default to be blank. But if you would like to use those are available for you. The next one I want to look at is something we've already covered. I just want to briefly point it out that you do have dock options here, and you do have a few more on this than you did when you did the secondary click on the dock. So in case you wanted to change your dock settings, the size of the icons, magnification, the position, you can change that right there. And finally, we are going to skip over mission control and language or region. And under your security and privacy, this is where you can change how long the MacBook will wait until it asks for your password again. So if you have this set to default, which would be immediately, that means if the screen goes to sleep or the screensaver begins, or let's say you close your MacBook lid and you reopen it, you will have to put in your password immediately. If you want to, you can change that to be as long as you would like based on your options here, so that if you want to change it and you don't have to keep putting your password in every single time that you close the lid, then you can set that to whatever you would like to right there. We are not actually going to get into the file vault or the firewall or your privacy information, because most of this will be locked and set. One thing I do want to point out, let's say I go to privacy and I need to change one of these. There is a lock in the lower left hand corner that says click the lock to make changes. When you click the lock, it is going to ask for the password for the system, and you have to put in the correct password in order to unlock it and change any of the preferences under your privacy. We're now going to choose our grid to go back to our main screen under System Preferences. And this concludes Part 1. Please watch Parts 2 through 4 to get a full idea of what is available in your System Preferences.